Welcome to the P2P amp shop here. I'm getting started on yet another tremendous reverb that I build, which is basically a modified Princeton reverb. And this one's going to be a turret board. I've already started all the ground straps on this guy, bias pot, and I've still got to, and you can see the date there, I just started it. Still got to do the underwire wiring and things like that, but I'm going to kind of try to follow along during this build to give you an idea how I put these things together. But anyway, hope you're all doing well, and stand by for more. One thing I like to do when I'm mounting these turret boards here is I'll drill my first hole, and I just take a bolt and stick through here, stick a standoff in there to hold it so I can pivot it around. Now I've already pre-drilled the holes again I'm going to use for the standoffs in each corner. And in this case, it's a 11/64 bit, and you can kind of get everything lined up. You can eyeball it, measure it, however you want to do it. And then I'll drill my second hole, usually kitty corner, so I'll do the one right down here. That'll hold it in place, and then I go ahead and knock out the other two. And that way I'm guaranteed that I have a good lineup on this guy, so when I put the standoffs underneath and we get the board mounted, it'll be nice and straight, and we won't have any issues like that. Okay, so we got everything drilled, and using this method, everything lines up absolutely perfect. And these are 5/8 standoffs, aluminum standoffs, and there's the holes underneath. The bolts, nice and strong, not going anywhere. These are great boards. Anyway, that's how we do the. That's how, at least that I do, the lineup to pre-mount and pre-fit the turret board. Got some tube sockets mounted here. I like to use actual hardware instead of sheet metal screws like Fender did. These are Belton sockets. They're my favorite. I've tried a bunch of different ones, and this just happens to be my choice here. Don't forget to put your tube clips on for your rectifier and your two power tubes. And I've been buying these guys here with kind of like the separate covers and the bases here and all that. I find it quite a bit cheaper to do it that way. Those are Beltons as well. So anyway, just kind of moving along here, giving you some quick little shots as we get going. The things I like to do early on in the build is I bridge pin 4 and 5 for the heaters on all my preamp tubes, so I can get a good clear shot of that. And what I find is that just makes my job of putting the heaters in that much easier. It just takes a few minutes to do it. I use some 20 gauge bus wire. I just wrap it through there and kind of crimp it around the edge. Give it a solder right at the base of the pin, so you still got nice eyelet to run your heater wires in. For me, it just makes it that much easier to do it. I don't really care to bend the pins. I've had them break, and you know, I know Fender did it. A lot of guys do it. I'm not saying my way is perfect or right or wrong. It's just the way I do it, and you might give it a try in your next build and see what you think. One of the things I like to do is I pre-wire the board before I'll start getting components on, except for some of the preamp wires, which I come up above because I like to keep those away from anything that's high voltage, especially over here in the B+. It's going to cause us some unwanted noise. You'll notice that I drill the board and I stick those down there so these wires can be nice and neat down on the chassis. And again, it's just it's a matter of neatness, serviceability, but mostly keeping things quiet. And so that's where I'm at. I'm going to start loading this guy up with some components, and we'll kind of keep you in tune here as we go along. Here's a little update. The board is populated. Right here, we've added extra. We replaced one of the 0.01s with a 0.022 here to slow the tremolo down a little bit. And then this is normally a 1 meg resistor. I put a 300K resistor in there to give the tremolo more intensity. 220K is okay too. This is just a hair less. I think it'll work out just fine. Anyway, got a concentric pot up here for bass and mid. We've got to get some transformers, filter cap, some other parts coming in, some additional pots, and we'll be ready to start getting this guy together and fired it up.